Check 1 2, check 1 2. Miami on the Rocks. Casey Chops. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MIA on the Rocks. Follow us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Today's guest got the homie Jade from LA. She's in town. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I checked you out on your podcast, and you're definitely doing your thing. You got your own podcast. You said you were in town here in Miami. You came from Jamaica. It was your birthday, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was fucking amazing. I loved it so much.
Your first time in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Like, what were the vibes like?
Food, amazing.
What were you eating?
Okay, so I'm actually vegan, so I couldn't eat a lot of food.
Damn, that's funny. I forgot to ask you. Everyone from LA is a vegan. You guys are like a gang out there. I'm afraid to go out there.
Yeah,
eat
no,
like a cheeseburger.
we're not
Y'all
gonna
jump me and shit.
But
no,
it's
good.
all by choice.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like, everybody's been telling me, like, damn, you got so thick this week because all I could eat was peas and rice.
Fire.
And plantains. And that's about it. Like, I couldn't eat, obviously, any meat or I had patties, but with veggies in it, and that was it. Really, 5 days.
I'm usually really good at like guessing people's like background, but I can't figure it out with you.
Yeah, I'm very ambiguous.
What's your like background?
I'm so many things that it's like a lot to list. So I'm.
You sent it to your shit to the what is it called? Where you get your
Yeah, and honestly, it's like even that was inaccurate because we know of like people in our family that have other backgrounds that didn't show up on that. But I'm basically from like damn near everywhere, except for I'm not Latin.
Okay.
I'm not from everything east, basically, just over yonder.
So you can't tell, like, if someone asks you, what do you say? I'm everything.
I just say I'm everything because it's so much. It's literally so much.
Wow.
I'm half Jewish though, so then there's
so you know that
everything else falls in. I mean, technically, according to that database or whatever.
Yeah. So where exactly are you from originally?
I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Yes.
How long? Yo, I just moved here, y'all. I think someone's taking a shower upstairs, of course. Like, don't worry, I'll filter that shit out. Portland, Oregon. Damn, I don't think have I ever met anyone from Portland, Oregon? I don't think so. You might be the first one, bro.
I love being people's first.
Yeah, how long have you lived in LA? Like, when did you leave Portland?
So I left Portland when I was 18. I left Oregon when I was 19. Went out to California and just been out there ever since.
Fire. How's LA? Like, how do you like the vibes out there?
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Like, from where I'm from, it was a lot to get used to. But I think I've adapted now, and I feel like it really helped. Like, it was very character building. And so now that I'm kind of used to it and I just kind of understand, I have a more worldly perspective because of that. I enjoy it.
Like, a lot of more cultures and stuff, and like
so many cultures, and it's shown me people from all walks of life. Yeah. Like, I feel like I really have come to a place, and I truly believe that it's based on me being there and like seeing so much. Yeah. I'm so at peace now. Right. Which is like typically the opposite of what you hear about people from LA or people that live in LA. They're like, I hate it. It's awful. People are terrible. Everything's fake. Nobody is really, everybody's out for themselves.
Well, we're going to get into that because I wanted to ask you about that. Like, first of all, LA right now, like a lot of people are leaving, it seems like. Is there like, I guess people, like, from what I hear and my friends, like, all the New Yorkers are coming here. A lot of people from LA are like moving to like Austin and Texas and shit like that. Like, are you noticing that? Is there like a difference, like in the?
I mean, as far as my friends go, I haven't seen that. But I've even considered, like, because I love it here so much. So for a while, I was like, damn, I want to go get a condo in Miami.
Is it annoying over there right now? Like, with the restrictions and like the way it's being governed and shit? And I'm hearing like the homeless shit is wild. Like, I went to San Fran. I went to the Bay Area my first time probably like 3 months ago. And that shit was wild. Like,
no, it is a lot.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot. And, but I actually don't really leave my house. So I don't deal with a lot of that. Like, I literally like everything I do in my house. I work from my house. Dope. I work out at my house. Sometimes I'll go to a gym.
Where in LA you at?
I'm in the Valley.
Okay.
So it's very quiet. Nobody really lives where I live. Like, I actually just convinced my friends to move out to the Valley because they weren't in the Valley as far as I was. I was the only one out there. And so I don't see people ever. I don't deal with people. And I go to like, if I'm gonna go places, I go like 3 places. And they fuck with me, so they don't make me like do all.
So you're like a homebody. You're like introverted.
I'm actually really extroverted.
Exactly. But that's how it is, though. I feel like the extroverts can only be extroverted half the time, and then you're like super introverted. Like,
yes. If I'm going to be out, if I'm going to be extroverted, it's, you know, 1 day out the week or 2 days, 3 days out the month. But then the rest of the time, I'm like in my house. I'm not leaving the house.
I mean, where do you like to go out when you're in LA? When you're in that mood to like pop out? Like,
Catch.
what are you doing?
I go to Catch.
Okay, I don't know what's popping out there right now.
I fucking love Catch. If you ever come to LA, we'll go to Catch.
What is it?
Everybody knows I love Catch.
It's a
restaurant.
Oh, it's a restaurant.
It's my favorite restaurant I probably go every week, literally.
In Hollywood?
It's in WeHo, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about like the turn up vibes? Like, are you like, if you're gonna hit the club, are you not a club person or?
I was going out a little bit when shit started opening up again. They have Highlight on Wednesdays. It was really nice because they did like R&B night. And
is that I'm sorry for interrupting you, but there's a couple promoters I know out there that are doing their things that I think they do an R&B vibe. It's like Sadiq, is that the name? Okay, okay.
So I really liked that when everything started opening up this year because I'm not really a big fan of like, if I'm in Miami, I don't really care what the vibe is in the club. Like I like Live, I like Story. But when I'm in LA, I don't like all the clubs there. I really don't enjoy myself. But that I really like wholeheartedly was into it. It was fun because it was just different.
Different, bro. Like we hear the same shit all the time. Like to like.
I want to listen to throwback R&B. Me and my friends would dance, and like it was just a good vibe. Everybody's having fun and dancing, and it wasn't very LA. Like LA definitely has a stigma.
Like a popularity contest. Like
everybody's just standing around and being like, it was not that. So it was fun, but it has been different.
See, that's the thing about Miami that's different in that regard. As far as over here, like over here, we're like a Caribbean melting pot and we're super Latin. So like everywhere now you go, you're going to hear like at least you're going to hear a lot of Spanish music mixed in with the hip hop. And the Spanish music has tempo. So it's like, it's not like those parties where everyone's like, you know, like, like mad and shit in the corner. Like you're listening to Pop Smoke. Like everyone's not trying to kill their ops and shit.
Right.
Like, you know, so Miami like Miami mixed in with that Latin flair, like that tempo, people are dancing. It's a vibe like right now, and I'm excited for over here. Like, what pulls you to Miami? Like you said, you might move over here.
I mean, I wouldn't move here permanently, but I would definitely get a condo and do part time. Maybe just come out a couple weeks out the month or something. But it's the energy here. Like, I love the energy here. I love that. I love that when people go out, they really just want to have a good time. I like that the water is so close. Like. I'm on the coast, but I still got to go 45 minutes to get to the beach. I love that you can just look out and see water. Like, I'm very much into the water. It's so therapeutic for me. Even if it's just, if I'm not in it, just seeing it. I love that. It's relaxing.
The energy is different. Like, because I live out west.
It feels cleansing.
I used to live out west, which is kind of like the equivalent to being like 30 minutes away from the water, you know, like by the Everglades. But now that I'm east, it's like the air is different, you know, like you feel the energy, like, I love it. And people are finally starting to like wake up and like realize like after the pandemic, like, yo, life in Florida is amazing. Like, you know, like why live in the cold? Why live where it's gloomy? You know, like I love LA. I love LA. I love the scene. I'm not the biggest fan of like the culture as far as like, you know, like I'm used to that Caribbean. You have Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians, like you have Caribbean, like, and then you go over there and it does feel a little like culturally deprived, I guess. Like, you know, like two, like one thing, like there's two things you could like two out, you know, but it's cool. How's the dating out there? Are you single?
Yeah.
Damn, you like,
you know, I don't know. We never really know what it.
Damn.
It's just one of those things that it's like, I don't even think about that anymore. Like
what, like the title you're saying, or like actually getting, like being in a relationship?
Yeah, both. I just don't really care. Like where I'm at in my life right now, it's like the last thing on my mind. So like, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It sounds like LA is like Miami. Like, is it tough out there? Or like,
I don't want to say it's tough because I've really realized that the more I do for myself, as far as like internal work, the better I attract. So I actually have really great people in my life. I have great prospects. I should say that as well. I have great prospects. Like I know, and I have relations. Like I have really good friends and people that are in my life that like, if I wanted to be with someone, like I could see myself with, you guys are good men, you know, but I'm just not, I'm realizing I'm just not there right now.
Wow, that's like a trend I'm noticing from women now, that it's like cool to be like inaccessible. Like it's cool to like, like why are women like that now? It's like a trend, And like, I don't know.
I think I don't know. I mean, I can't say that for myself it's a trend because I feel like what I've started to really see is that there's like this unsettling feeling that women often have in relationships and are often disappointed and unhappy, and men as well.
I agree.
But I have mostly female friends, so like, I'm getting my bias based off of women from
Right.
my
Like you guys are really not fucking with men and you like with us anymore.
Well, actually, all my friends are in relationships.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only actually, me and one other friend are the only single ones. But
got you.
I've just noticed collectively, like, women are not happy or satisfied a lot, and I feel like right now we're starting to realize that we don't need to put so much into someone that is not also putting that into us, because that has been the narrative of what we need to do in order to keep a man. Like, what are you doing to keep your man? But it's shifting now. What are you doing to also keep your woman?
Right, because now women don't need men. Like women
we can work, we can pay bills, we legally can do a lot of things that we couldn't do for so long, and we can support ourselves if we choose to.
Right.
So now it's an opportunity for us to like step into our power and realize, like, you can't just give me the bare minimum and I'm going to take it because I have to to survive. You have to set the bar higher. And so now I think our standards are raising.
Right.
It's just a level up time for men.
Right. I've said that, like, when you put that block up, like you're going to block out all the bullshit and the bad shit, but like you're also blocking out the potential dope things like that you could be experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I'm worried about is that, like, when you hear stories from social media, like you're only going to hear like the fucking terrible shit on social media, like that men do, or maybe your friends are telling you isolated stories. I'm worried that women are taking this social media shit and thinking that that's the consensus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of all men. And now it's like, I'm inaccessible, fuck men right now. I'm more on me, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But
no, I actually, on my episode that I just did last, I took a good moment to be like, I really do love and value men. Like, I don't want that to be the narrative. I don't want it to be like, fuck man, like, y'all are all dogs. That's
an individualistic narrative. First of all, at the end of the day, men need women and women need men. Like, this is men, you know what I mean? We need each other. But like this whole, it's like, there's a narrative with guys too that they don't want to fuck with women right now because, well, all women are this, they're just, attention, they're all on Instagram, they don't give a fuck, there's no respect anymore. So you see both perspectives, but it's like, I'm here like, what's the solution? Like,
I think the solution is wanting and putting an effort to gaining understanding of the other sex.
Right.
I think there's a deep, deep misunderstanding between each other right now. That's what I've seen the most this week, just in other things that I've watched, listened to, been a part of. I'm seeing we are not taking the time to hear each other out. Women, I can speak for all of the people that I talk to about this thing. Like, we know what we've been through. We know that we've been hurt. We know that we've been oppressed in various ways. But also, let's take the time to see how a man feels. What have you gone through? What have you experienced that's making you lash out in the way that you're doing that is then in turn triggering me or harming me,
Right.
We need to have better lines of communication and really want to solve it and get to the root of it with each other. It can't be men versus women. We're not against each other. We're supposed to be working with each other.
Right. And I think what I see, and to piggyback off what you're saying, is that one of the biggest problems I see is that women think that men think the same way as them and vice versa. Men think that women should think the same way as them and vice versa. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're totally different, like, people, like, like, so the way women see men, that's through y'all's lenses. Like, we're different. We're wired differently. And then men have certain biases against women because they're women, bro. Like, see it through their lens. Don't see it through your lens. You're going to always have these, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
I think that I've had the most success with men, partners, people that I've had relationships with, and also friends, when I made a sincere effort to understand them and why they do what they do, why they are who they are, and not judge them for that. And I think that a lot of women, and I think men do this as well, are afraid to do that because they don't want to justify behavior. But what I found was when I did that, it's not that I'm giving it the green light, because you can still set boundaries and you can still not be okay with certain things, but gaining understanding can help you process things in a more mature and respectful manner. So you're not both coming from these, what's the word I want to say? Like ego-driven states. Ego-driven states. Exactly. Yeah. It's not right. Sometimes women do shit that's fucked up, and it's not right. It doesn't make it okay. But if you could understand why your partner is doing the things that she does, you can help her solve those things and heal it. That way, moving forward, the reaction isn't the same when she's triggered. Like, I've done a lot of personal healing and internal work and all that shit, but like, that doesn't mean that I'm not still triggered. It just means that now when I am triggered, I choose to handle it in a,
you could
I
catch
slow
it.
down.
You meditate?
I meditate every day.
Yeah, see, I could tell. Like that's the tool that meditation gives you, is that gives you that buffer time to, there's a difference between reacting and responding, you know what I'm saying? So like it gives you that time to like just figure out what you want to do. But yeah, it seems like because women are so individualistic and career driven and focused right now, it seems like they kind of live in they live in their masculine energy, it seems like, and that's tough on men, especially men who have their own thing going and they're looking for a feminine woman, but most of these women are living in their masculinity. So it like, I don't know, it's like gender things changing. Like, I don't know.
It is changing, and I feel like it's okay to change, but not like everyone. I kind of look at it like, if you suppress something for so long, like let's say you have this addictive tendency and you suppress it and you don't really like heal it. And oftentimes people that have those tendencies or those behavioral patterns, eventually there's like something that just sends them over the edge, and it forces you to kind of give back into that, whatever it may be. Like it could be nail biting, it could be hair picking, whatever. It's really, really hard to break those things. So I think that if we stop trying to suppress things and just let it be, get it out. Like, I feel like I suppressed my masculine, because we all have both. I feel like I suppressed my masculine energy for so long, and I was trying so hard to be submissive to my boyfriend when I was younger, and I just wanted to be the perfect woman, and I wasn't really honoring this other side of me who is also driven and ambitious. And so then once I finally stepped out of that relationship, it was like I wanted to just like rip my clothes off and like be crazy and just shake my ass in the club and just be wild, because I've suppressed this other side of me for so long. But if we get it out and we just,
then you could come to like a more balanced, like, because you've lived both sides, you could really like find a balance. Then
you can figure out who really am I? Like, this didn't work for me and this didn't work for me. Maybe I really like this part of me and I like this part of me. So let's meet somewhere in the middle.
Right.
And then we can kind of start to coexist in a more symbiotic manner.
Got you. Damn, we just got like really deep over there, bro. You earthy, yo? Like, we just like, yo. Are you earthy? Like, do you consider yourself earthy? You got crystals?
Oh, I have hella crystals.
Damn, it's like the wave now. You super into astrology?
I'm more into astrology now than I used to be. I actually grew up collecting rocks, crystals, stones from like the
earthy.
time I was.
You're definitely earthy.
I could pick things up. Like,
you like incense?
Yeah.
You listen to like Erykah Badu and Janae Aiko and shit?
Janae is my favorite. I have a Janae tattoo. I have two.
You're
Janae
passing
tattoos.
all the earthy tests. You sit on the floor?
Yeah.
Yo, that's hilarious, because...
You know what's wild though is like,
so wait, this is basically you like on the weekends?
It used to be, actually. Yeah. I was very, very into this earthy person for a while. Like, I go through phases. And so I was very much like earth girl. I have sound bowls, like I have the crystal bowls, and I can do sound baths in my house, and I have yoga mats, and I'll like lay outside and do yoga in my yard. But then there's also a side of me that's like, I want to have like a 30-inch wig on, and I want to like get my acrylics done and be bomb. So I feel like I am very much that person, but there's another side.
You're like an alter ego.
I have so many sides. And I think that's something that I really like try to show people is that you don't have to be one thing. Yeah. Like we're multidimensional. And so embracing all parts of yourself and really accepting that also helps you to not just be happy with yourself, but understand and meet people with grace. Yeah. When they're doing their things as well. Right.
That's what's up. I got Jade in here. Jade, plug your social media real quick for the people.
At Jade Ramey.
There it is. So I'm going to ask you a couple this or that's, okay?
Okay.
Rapid fire, all right? Red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
Would you rather have the video game boyfriend or the club boyfriend?
Oh, shit. Club. Can I go to the club with him?
Damn, see, I had my homegirl say the same shit. Nah, he's always out in the club and you're home, or he's always playing video games and you're home.
I mean, if I can't go, then I would rather a boyfriend that's at home with me.
Okay. Tequila or Henny?
Tequila.
Lipstick or lip gloss?
Lip gloss.
Ashanti or Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Iced coffee or hot?
Iced.
Short nails or long nails?
Medium.
Okay. App or dessert?
Appetizer.
Top or bottom?
Top.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Love or money?
Both.
There. Okay, so fashion or music?
Shit.
What do you listen to? What's your playlist look like?
Oh, I have so many playlists. I have different playlists for different moods.
As you should. That's what's up.
Yeah.
How's you like LA music over there?
I honestly don't know if I really know LA music like that.
Really?
Like, I don't really listen to LA artists.
I'm trying to see if you have an LA accent, but you don't really have one.
I think I just have
You haven't said 5 yet, or right now, cuz. Wait. Or you haven't said hella either. That's like the LA, that's like the West Coast, 5. I've been doing this since I was 5, cuz. 5.
Oh, they do that, yeah.
Right now, and they say meow.
But that's real LA. I'm in the Valley.
Yeah.
So I'm also not from LA. Yeah. So I didn't grow up in South Central or
Compton
or anything like that.
Yeah. Beamer or Benz?
Benz.
Condo or house?
House.
All right. So I have a question. You got to tell me this. A guy is dating two girls at one time, Amanda and Brenda.
Okay.
He told Amanda that there's Brenda, but told Brenda she's the only one.
Oh, shit.
Who does he love more?
Ooh, whoa, that's tough. I don't.
So it comes down to would you rather know the harsh truth, or would you rather just out of sight, out of mind, and just
I personally would rather know the harsh truth.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. And
I said this before,
that all the time.
Different cultures from around the world, they look at deception. There's different definitions of deception. So some places lying isn't lying if you're protecting somebody. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have a negative connotation to it,
Interesting.
So, yeah. So you would rather just know, who does he love more though? Does he love the woman that he's not telling that, and she thinks she's the only one, or does he love Amanda for telling it to the man? I
really don't know, because I think it could go both ways.
Or he doesn't love neither.
Or maybe he loves himself more.
What is it that you women are calling us men now? Narcissistic? What is that's
narcissistic for sure.
Yeah. What is the other one? You guys got 3
misogynistic or
no? What's the other one? We're toxic. Damn, there's 3 little cultural words that everyone's saying now that are branding men, but that's funny. Condo or house?
House.
You live in a house in
mm-hmm.
That's what's up. You don't have a homeless guy living in your driveway, do you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, slick.
I'm in the Valley. I don't ever see homeless people really.
Okay. Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
Order in or eat out?
Eat out.
Good head and average dick, or bomb dick and average head?
I think bomb dick, average head.
All right. Series or movie?
Series.
The smart boyfriend or the funny boyfriend?
Smart boyfriend.
Oh, so you don't have to have a sense of humor? He's good?
No, I definitely want somebody to have a sense of humor, but I really need mental stimulation. I really need somebody to
That's what
I
that's
hate.
sense of humor, right? That's the
that could be that too. But I want it like in a way of where I don't have to teach somebody a bunch of stuff that
you want your man to put you onto shit.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a fair trade.
I guess some would say to be funny is to be smart, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I've also dated somebody who was like I thought hilarious at the time and dense, dumber
he was like
than
a clown.
nails, like just corny. Like in hindsight, I'm like, oh Jesus, I was so young.
Damn. Marriage with no kids or kids with no marriage?
For me personally, I would say kids first. I mean, not first necessarily, but I would prefer.
You got to pick one: marriage with no kids or kids with no marriage.
With no marriage.
Got you.
Marriage would be tight if I wanted to do it.
Yeah, if you believe in marriage or not?
I did, and now I don't know.
Me either.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah. Everyone's so individualistic. Talk to me about your podcast. Like, what is the plan for you? You know, I've seen a couple clips. Your shit is dope.
Thank you.
You take it all different type of places.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. I started it because I wanted to just connect with people more. Mm-hmm. It was like I've always kind of known that I wanted to do one because I used to listen to podcasts like when I was still living at my mom's house. Like I would listen to podcasts and I was.
What's your favorite one? Like, what is like one of your?
Honestly, I don't really listen to other people's podcasts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I try to not just so I can stay here. Like I don't want to start talking like other people.
That's smart. Taking their jokes and shit.
Yeah, like, I don't want to take their lingo. Like me and my friends have our own lingo. So like if you listen and I bring my guests or my friends back again and again, you're going to start to pick up on like we have our own stuff. And I want it to stay very organic to me and who I am. And I noticed that like if you're around someone long enough, like, you know, you get a girl, she's going to eventually start talking like you. Yeah. So
I love that shit. And then you taking my fucking lingo and fucking saying it in front of your next man. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, that shit is mad offensive. Now I had this fucking cornball is talking like me and shit. Like,
I'm crying.
I hate that shit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I haven't listened in a while, but I always knew I wanted to do one. I would be like doing little businesses out of my mom's house. I didn't want to work a regular job, so I was always doing random shit. And then I would be listening to podcasts simultaneously. A lot of it would be like about business, or it would be about like money management and investing and just trying to understand that. And then last year during the pandemic, I never ended up getting COVID, but my whole friend group, every single person in it did. And
you haven't got it yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
I've had the antibody test a couple times too. And like, I've been tested so many times because I travel. So I have to. And I've just been good.
You're like immune to that shit.
I'm also vegan, so.
That's not bulletproof, fam. Don't do that. Yo, look at the vegans talking about, yo, if you don't eat meat, you'll not get COVID. Like, yo, that's like the cure to everything. That's
but I'm also O blood type, which is less susceptible as well, apparently. So.
Like a force field, you good.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was sitting in my house because I didn't have anybody to hang out with for 2 weeks while they were all getting over it. And so I'd be going live. And I think like a month before, I'm very into meditation, obviously, and like prayer and affirmation. So I did this meditation, manifesting things.
Definitely earthy. Go.
And I was sitting in this meditation where I'm asking myself, like, what do I really want? Like, what really, really makes me happy? And so I thought about it, and like the typical answer people with like, you think, what makes you happy? Like, oh, my family. Oh, cars. Oh, money. But like, I was like, no. We're going deeper than that. Like, what makes me happy? And I was like, it makes me happy to know that other people are happy. Or it makes me happy to know other people are getting closer to being happy. Or it makes me happy when I connect with someone and we're able to build a relationship or solve problems together or just pick each other's brains and have a good time. Like those like random things, like more specific, that really makes me happy. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put out the affirmation. Like,
oh shit, you touched the blue crystal?
I was in like a 6-hour meditation, just like,
oh shit.
All my candles lit. And I'm like, the idea is going to come to me, what I'm going to do. Like something where I can connect with people. I can learn from people. They can learn from me. And I didn't even know like what I wanted to give to the world. Sometimes I still don't, but I was just like, I want to give something and I want to feel fulfilled, like I accomplished something and like I did something to leave like a positive impact on my community or my friends or whoever. So I put that out there, and then they all ended up getting COVID. So I'm sitting in my house, and then I would be going live because I had nobody to hang out with. Shit was still closed. It was summer.
Yeah.
And so I'd be sitting on my couch or just sitting in my kitchen, just talking to people. And then they'd be asking me questions. How did you get into this? How'd you get into that? And I was going back and forth. And then I thought, wait a second, I should do this and put it where people could listen to it.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Damn.
It was tight.
How'd you come up? What's the name?
Free Game.
Oh shit, that's lit.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you got the YouTube channel going, Apple, Spotify.
Yep, I have all of that, and
you got a dope following. How'd you garner that? Like, how did you grow your following? Would you say?
I started back in like 2013, actually 2014 probably. I had this boyfriend. He like didn't like me posting selfies on Instagram, so I held off, and then got out of that relationship, just started posting hella pictures. This is when like the algorithm was very organic and you could just grow. So I started to, and then I just figured out like what worked. Like I've always been very observant and can tell like this works, this doesn't. So like, okay, this type of picture works and this does. And like, it's fun. Like I enjoy putting myself together and taking photos and feeling good about myself, especially coming out of that relationship where like I was just shitted on all the time. It was like, oh my God, I'm gaining confidence and I'm feeling better about myself, and I just enjoyed it, and then I just kept doing it. And then
would you if you met a man that you took interest to and he told you that like you would have to scale back your pictures, like your Instagram game, like would that be okay for you or what?
Yeah, not right now. If I made the choice on my own that I want to do that because I want to move in a direction that is a little bit more maybe conservative or family oriented, as I get older, I'm naturally going to do that. Right. So I want to do that in my own time, and I have done that. Like when I first started doing Instagram, it was like Bible study. It was like Then I got out of a relationship and I was posting ass pics.
Now we on yachts and jet skis and fuck him.
Exactly. And so one day it's gonna do that, and I don't.
You made him crazy. You went right to the ass pics after the relationship. He probably lost his mind.
No, I took like a year. Okay, it was like a year later.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Damn, Are you like? Do you date influencers? Like it seems like I don't know, like Miami and LA, people give it flack for, I guess it's like the top two like most fake facades like cities. Do you see the like similarities in that, or like how was the fakeness in LA? Like some say people say it's like cliquey or whatever. Like I've heard like it's fake in a different way.
I mean, I actually was just talking about this recently because I was dating somebody who like really feels like if somebody wrongs you, you need to just get them out of your life. Just fuck them. Get them out of my life. Like, I'll never be with you again. I'll never be your friend again. And I was like, well,
it depends if it's like a felony. It depends like
is it a felony? Did you kill somebody?
Yeah, no, not literally. I'm just saying like what's the degree of the offense? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you do there's times I have to erase you from my life.
Wild, yes. Or if it's multiple strikes.
Right.
Understandable. But I've also I can understand that because I've been there before. But I was also explaining that like since I've learned to just let everybody be who they are and not put so much, I really don't put expectation on things. Like you could show me this is who I am for 2 years. And I'll be like, this is who you are, but I'm not gonna be surprised or shocked if something were to change because I understand that we're continuously evolving and growing and changing. And you may wake up tomorrow, you could be married to someone for 10 years. They wake up, they're unfulfilled. They need something different. Right. I can't be mad at you for that. So I've seen that, and I think I personally, this is how I see it. And I don't know about everybody else, but I see it as like we are all living very different lives. And what is normal to us is really, really not normal to anybody else. And just knowing that, you have to be able, in order to like not lose your mind and go crazy, you have to know that, and you have to be okay with things not being normal. And so I don't know if it's necessarily like a level of fakeness of that it's just our normal, if that makes sense. Like, it's
I know what you're saying. Like, I'm jaded because I'm a DJ and I'm in the Miami nightlife, so I'm exposed to the bullshit more. So of course I'd probably have that opinion.
Yes.
Or like the women I see and have to deal with, you know what I mean? Like compared to, you know, someone who's like works at Starbucks and shit.
Yeah, like if you were, you know, living in suburban America and worked at Starbucks, had a girlfriend of 6 years, was getting engaged, wanted to get her pregnant in the next 3 years, and then, you know, something catastrophic happened within your relationship, and this is the first time you've ever seen something like that, like, it's gonna be terrible. And then if you were to choose to stay with her beyond, like, let's say she cheated and got pregnant by somebody else, like,
damn,
I don't know. Like, it would be crazy. Like, I could never do that. You probably also have never seen your friends do that, or your parents have probably never done that.
Right.
We see that every month. Like, and that's not even the worst of the worst. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just normal. It's not normal, but it's just normal. And I've just learned to not focus on
Let the jadedness like I just internalize it and make it change you. You can't let the world change you. Like,
exactly. It is what it is. I can't control it. I can't stop it. So I'm going to just be free from it.
Yeah. Shit. Damn, we're like a deep ass conversation.
I know. It was so random.
Is there anything? I thought like I was going to have like turn up and have fun with you, but we're here like fucking beware of dick saying. That's hilarious.
I love.
What is that? Just getting like, I mean, I said this like on a like previous episode that like, tired of like, I guess there's like dick saying and pussy saying, I guess it goes both ways, but like just being tired of like the meaningless shit, you know what I'm saying? And getting stuck in like glued to somebody sexually that you don't even really like.
Yeah.
That's so empty. And I did it for so long that like, I said now that to my homegirl, like when I go on dates, I'm doing like a no alcohol rule on dates.
That's tight.
Yeah.
So how does that go? Like both of you aren't drinking?
Well, it depends. If this is somebody that I really want to court and get to know and actually like go out on a date with, like to dinner or whatever, then it's gonna be a no alcohol rule.
Wow.
For me, at least.
So how long does that go on for?
I don't know. I'm still experimenting with it. Like I'm trying to delay, because what happens is I'll get sexually tied to somebody because the sex is fire, but then I don't really know them like that. And then as I get to know them, I don't like them.
Yeah.
But then I'm already glued to them. You get me? Like,
yes,
I guess that's the dick saying you're like referring to.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know? So yeah, I think I'm like, damn, what is the solution? Like to like, I think because alcohol makes men lusty, you know what I'm saying? So I think like if you keep the alcohol out of it and take the time to get to know somebody, but I'm just trying to think in my mind, like how long I could actually like delay that.
So does that mean that you're looking for something like more serious?
Yeah. I'm trying to have a family and shit. Like, you know, like I got, you know, like I'm over the meaningless shit. I did that in my 20s. Like, and that shit is for the birds. It's empty. You know, it makes you feel empty. Like as far as what? Like
what if
you're saying getting the sex?
No, well, yeah, getting the sex, but also like going through these experiences. Like, what if, I don't know, like I think it could sometimes be a hard transition, like going from this type of dating to this type of dating, like having this immediate gratification and then realizing like, okay, yeah, I don't actually like you.
Yeah.
And then do I like you? Okay, when am I going to know if I like you? Oh my God, I don't like her. Okay, I got to move on to the next one. And doing that again and again, like.
I've done it so many times. It's bad. I get turned off so easily.
What was like the biggest
like,
turns off?
I'll be like eating dinner, like, why you chew like that? Like, no, I'm joking. No, but seriously, like, it's like, I don't know. I'll get turned off just.
By what though? What's like the worst? I want to hear like an actual example. You don't have to, you know, disclose who.
No, not who. But I'm just saying, like, well, first of all, just like a monotone personality. You know what I'm saying? Where like, I feel like I'm carrying on the conversation. That's the worst. Like, you know, because I can do that. Like, and I have to do it in podcasts sometimes when the person is not giving you rhythm back. You know, and so that's really annoying. You know, like I've been on dates before and it's like that. And actually, that's a good precursor to know like if the sex is going to be whack too. I think I could draw a parallel to that, like based off my experiences, like someone who's monotone, like in their personality is monotone in bed.
Interesting. Yeah. So do you meet a lot of monotone people?
What do you mean?
Like people that are just like dry and just like, I don't really want to be here.
That's
I
the
don't really know
problem
how to
with
talk.
Miami women. Like Miami women are the most beautiful women in the world, but because they're so beautiful, they don't really have to like watch dope shit and educate themselves in a different way and be dope in their personality. They can just be beautiful in their, they could climb the ladder,
Interesting.
But yeah, no, that's just an issue I've had. So looking for something serious in the city is tough. And then what I do based on the nightlife, like I've seen the worst, like women who are married coming to me trying, like it's crazy. So like
trying to what?
Like giving me rhythm, like some women who are married, like trying to, like, yeah, it's bad. Like, so I'm trying to like, not be jaded, no pun, but
yeah. Interesting. So how long have you been in this space for?
What, like trying to probably for 3 years since really? I had my sister had my niece. So like I want children now because I have my niece. Fever? Yeah, men can get baby fever, bro. Wow. Yeah, but it's tough because sometimes I've said that, like, I think I'm ready to be a father more than a husband or a boyfriend.
Yeah, no, that's why I chose the answer that I did, because sometimes, I mean, when I really think about it, I'm not really sure, because you're really setting yourself up to raise a human, and the idea of that is like way bigger than just like having a baby. But I think about that too, like a kid, like you're gonna love your kid unconditionally. People, if they fuck up, you're like, okay, you're annoying. Once you get to a certain age of, like you said, seeing so much, it's just like, I don't really care to deal with that anymore. Like, as long as you could be a good co-parent and you also want to have a child, like we are agreeing that we're doing this and like we have a dope enough friendship or relationship that like, even if we don't stay together, we could still keep it
raise
cordial.
It right. Yeah, like,
Then, yeah.
What is something that you're, trying to work on as far as like in the dating scene, or like, oh wait, you're not focused on that right now, but like, what is a dynamic that you see within yourself that you're trying to like correct or work on? Like, what's the inner work you're doing right now? What would your ex say is your defects? What would his discrepancies be about you?
I think the last person that I really, really cared for, that I wanted to be with, this was a couple years ago. I had a lack of understanding and I wasn't communicating. I wasn't asking. I wanted him to communicate, but I wasn't communicating. So I wasn't even communicating that I wanted him to communicate. So how does that work?
Oh shit, damn.
So.
But you wanted to be with him.
Yeah, I really wanted to be with him. So I think what I've started to do is just really, like, every time, this is a recent, very, very recent thing, is that every time I see something in someone that bothers me, I look inward and I say, where does that correlate to me? What can I do? Because all of our peers or our partners are mirrors and reflections of us in some way, shape, or form. So if it's bothering me that you do certain things, I need to also evaluate and see if I'm holding myself to the same standard that I'm looking to hold you to. And I think the last one, I don't know if he would say anything bad. I know that's dope. We still really care about each other. Like we're cool still. So like, yeah, I don't think we have bad blood. Like, I mean, I certainly don't. And I know that he cares about me too. So like, it's not like that. But I definitely,
you don't require anything that you require of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I realized like I did get triggered a few times, and things bothered me, and I held it in. And I worked through it on my own, and I didn't express that like this bothered me and this bothered me. And then I realized like I have to communicate that, because if you were to go through those things, not necessarily, I had a fear. I think that's something that I should definitely work on, is like releasing the fear of communicating and what that person is going to think of me saying. And when I'm
conflict delayed is conflict multiplied.
Exactly.
So
I definitely like
just knock it out. Just don't even think about it.
When I like in the space I'm at now, I'm like, Yeah, I don't care. Like,
because I think that that inward thinking can easily turn into like overthinking and overanalyzing, and now you're in that space of like, bro, just put your faith in something, whatever you believe in, and just go and hope. Like, there's things out of your, just do it and let life teach you. Like, but yeah, the overthinking is an issue.
My friend Pharaoh told me, because I was talking to him about that situation, and he told me, because I was asking him, like, how do I know that like, if it's a trigger or if he's actually doing something and my intuition is telling me, like, how are we able to differentiate the two?
What do you mean?
So, like, the difference between a trigger is, like, you could, be fucking around with me and, like,
I play video games too much, and that triggers
you. Do something like that, and it triggers me because I feel neglected.
Okay.
But then the other side of, like, that could be, maybe I'm not with you. Like, maybe that's something we're in the house or whatever. But then maybe it's something I'm at my house, you're at your house. And I'm hitting you, I'm texting you, or I called you and I was like, hit me when you get a chance. And I don't hear to you like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. You're like, oh, I was playing video games. And that might trigger me because it could be the same neglection that I felt from an ex that did the same thing. Or it could be my intuition telling me, like, something's off, because maybe what my ex was doing when he said he was playing video games was he was fucking bitches. And then he would hit me. Fam, so like,
you're deep. Like, yo, I'm like trying to wrap my mind. Like.
So like, is it that you were really playing video games and it's bothering me because I feel neglected, or were you really doing something and you're blaming it on that? And my intuition is saying, no, he's fucking lying. How do we tell the difference? And he was like, you have to just choose to trust. You just have to choose it. Trust can't be earned. You have to choose it.
It's a fact. You can't find a relationship. You build a relationship.
Yes.
So like,
and if someone chooses to break your trust, then that shows where you stand, and then, you move forward accordingly. But to put this, like, weight in someone's lap and be like, build this, do it. Like, be perfect. Like that, it doesn't work that way. You have to just decide, like, this person is worthy of my trust. Why are we like that, though?
I think our generation is like that. I think it's just because we see perfection on social media. We see the best of everything on social media. Everyone's highlights, no one's lowlights, and I think that we think that, like, that's the commodity or something. Like this consensus that's what we have to strive to be, is this on social media that's getting boosted to the top of the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, nobody's perfect.
I still get triggered, and I try to, like.
So what's like your 3 biggest turnoffs?
3 biggest turnoffs.
They could be physical. They could be behavior.
My 3 biggest turnoffs mostly are, like, mental and behavioral. So I really.
Also, if you don't brush his teeth, he's good.
No, that hygiene is really, really important.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think your, like, spiritual hygiene also is really important. So, like, doing inventory on yourself. Like, if I've started dating people and realized, like, they are so unconscious of who they really are that I can't even, like, I'm seeing them react to me on stuff that I'm really not doing. I'm seeing that.
That's
and that to me is a turnoff, because I know how much time I've put in
to yourself,
to myself. So if I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait for you to figure this out and put that time in, I'm gonna be sitting around on my hands for 4, 5, 6 years, unhappy with you. So like, it's immediately a turnoff, because I'm like, this is not gonna work. We're in different.
Bro, I think that's the biggest. I agree with you 100%, and that's probably the biggest problem in my experience with dating, is meeting someone, talking to them, and be like, bro, you have so much inner work to do that, like, if we're together, I'm gonna be trying to help you do that inner work, but some people can't even like understand the concept of, like, what doing inner work even means. Yes. You know what I mean? And that is frustrating.
Yes. And it's draining. Yeah. It's so draining. Like, I know some of my friends, some of my male friends, like, have had relationships with girls, or have currently relationships with girls, where they felt they were in a space where they could give that energy. So, like, it's not always a bad thing. Like, sometimes if you are in a place right now where, like, you're a pillar and nobody can sway you or move you. Like your energy is so strong and standing within yourself that you can now afford to divvy it out a little bit. But
you've poured your own cup, so now you can pour other people's shit.
Exactly. But if you're like a buoy in the ocean and you're gonna get ripped around by tides, like you can't do that. And I feel like sometimes I'm a pillar and sometimes I'm a buoy still figuring it out, and I can't give that much of myself to someone. So that is just very unbecoming to me.
Yeah. That's crazy, because that's where I'm at in my life now, is like where I've done the inner work and now it's like I'm ready to pour other people's cup, you know? But then you be interested in somebody and like, oh shit, you haven't even poured your own cup yet. Like you have a long way to go.
You know what I think would be a really good thing to look for, because I started finding this with myself recently, is that it was another thing that Pharaoh suggested. He's a very, very wise man, one of my best friends. He said that what if, because like I said, sometimes I feel like a pillar, sometimes I feel like a buoy. The things that make me feel like a buoy is when someone's done nothing. And I feel like I have to like sit here and remember Bird Box, where the guy was like opening the bitch's eyes and the windows, and she's like, I have to do that to you. That is draining. If you have the desire to grow and you're going to put in the work, but I can water here and there, that's different. So finding somebody that like maybe doesn't have all the answers, maybe they're not as far along on their personal healing, spiritual, whatever the case may be, journey that you are on, but they've started to already like uncover some of the stones and just open their mind up to it. So it's not, you don't have to go through that. Yeah. And then you can start to plant.
Shit. Bro. It was like therapy talking here, man. All right, well, there it is, Jade. I appreciate you pulling up.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.